her crouched down behind this little barrier hiding while he's being pulled up, and she's in a pickle costume, and you just see her like looking like she's in war zone, like all heavy breathing, and her eyes in the camera like this, like it's a war zone. And you see Josh get out the car, and all you see here is his voice saying, "Where is she at?" And then the credits roll and cut. Y'all, let me get a minute to collect myself. Give me a minute. What's up? Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name's Tisa. Listen, I know you're here for Love After Lockup. This is going to be the best season ever. We're about to get into the review. But before we do that, just want to tell you a little bit about my channel. I do review, I do tarot, I do video blogs, and I also do gossip and live stuff. I know I do it all, but you know what? That might actually all change, and I might turn into a permanent Love After Lockup. Thank you so much, Jess Johinda, Allie Bruce, and also Precious Wheeler for suggesting this. You guys did not miss Love After Lockup. This is going to be the best season. Okay, this is the only season I've watched, but this is true reality TV. Again, I'll say it once, I'll say it twice. Why have I been messing around with Bravo and the Real Housewives when Love After Lockup exists? If you don't watch the show and you just listen to my recaps, because I know a lot of you guys do, you need to get into the show. It is amazing. And I'm going to do a live, I think, on Monday about Love After Lockup because there's going to be so much to discuss. I can't even talk about their zodiacs. I talk about people's zodiacs because I couldn't find it. I'm going to hunt down their zodiacs so we can get a clearer picture on how shit's going to blow up. Anyway, with no further ado, like, comment, subscribe because I want to know, I want to learn editing. Like editing so my fade outs don't have to go like this. Some of y'all say you like the fade outs, but that's because you guys probably still want my mattresses to be on the floor. No, I want to upgrade. Anyway, with no further ado, let's get to that magnificent chaos. Woo, that is Love After Lockout. Woo, okay. Like, comment, subscribe. Woo. Let's get into Dante and Nicole. It was so much, I literally had to take notes. Never in a long time has the show given me this much this early. They hit the ground running, y'all. This is gonna be such a good season. Anyway, Dante and Nicole. Now, when this first started, Dante reminded me of like a little puppy. It's like, he's like, you know, I always said I'd be married at 28 and now I'm 33. Y'all, his biological clock is ticking. He really wants to be married, right? He literally said that, you know, he hates shallow and materialistic people, but he's walking around the wine store looking for wine to buy. And the girl calls him on the phone and she's like, yo, like basically like you have my money, right? He literally said he met this girl on a website called Paper Dolls. Have y'all ever heard of this? I don't watch Love After Lockup, so I was like, I don't know, right? Paper Dolls. It literally is to meet women in prison. She's been in jail for 4 years. They've been dating for a year and a half, right? She was, you can't make this up. I know the producers when they came was just like, yes, give us more, give us more. She's been in jail for robbery. That's right. How ironic. She's in jail for robbery. And this guy is like, yo, even the most beautiful people sometimes are criminals. Y'all, I want to say this nicely because Dante has like a really endearing smile. He seems to have a gentle soul. I thought he was a little bit like, yeah, I think Nicole's running circles around him on a very deep level. This relationship should not be. How are the producers taping this? Because the producers at any time when they were filming look at each other like, who's gonna tell them? I'm not gonna tell them, right? So anyway, they've been dating. Now, here's the thing. He was like a wounded puppy, but then he showed everybody Nicole Jr., his sex toy, or as he likes to say, sex torso. And that's when I was like, ugh, how'd you go from being sympathetic to a creep that quick? And then he's like, anyway, let me go put this in a dishwasher. And he throws his sex torso, baby Nicole, in the dishwasher. If I was a producer, I would be at the house and be like, no, I'm cool. Do you want water? No. Do you want anything? I do not want anything that dishwasher's touched. Matter of fact, I don't want anything you've touched. I literally would have been like, it's okay. I bought my own Snapple and oatmeal cream pie. No. Not eating anything, right? So then his friend comes over, right? And his friend comes over and it seems so high schoolers. His best friend comes over and he's showing her what he got her, right? And his friend's like, yo, you bought her a Michael Kors watch? What? And his friend's flipping out. And I'm like, aren't Michael Kors watches like $30 at Marshall's and TJ Maxx? I don't know. If they're not, maybe I can start a resale business on the East Coast in New York City or California, sending all the Michael Kors watches that are in our Marshalls and TJ Maxx and sending them to wherever they live, because apparently they're full price. So the guy's flipping out like, you got Michael Kors. He has all these sex toys set out on the bed. He has like a Victoria's Secret pink set. To tell you the truth, it would be really sweet if he was making this for his girlfriend that was coming home from the military, or his girlfriend that was, I don't know, coming home from the hospital after having his kid. But the fact that you have this for a woman that's coming home from jail for being convicted of robbery and went 4 years, I'm with his best friend. His best friend's like, do I hope it works out? I mean, yeah, he said that because he's a best friend. And then he's like, do I think it's going to work out? Absolutely not. He literally said, so you just bought yourself a white girl? And I died, like rolled on the floor laughing. They're true friends. And then he has $1,000 in cash in a bank envelope. And I was like, what? And he's like, she got to go shopping. And half of me was like, wow, you're really a good guy. A little creepy. I'll say something. The sex torso is a little creepy. But the fact that he shared that makes me think there's something a little, but he was like, how are you paying for this? And the guy was like, I mean, $24 an hour. And I was like, the producers, y'all going to hell for this one. But goddamn, it's going to be a hell of a ride. Unless we have Brittany. Brittany is like, describes herself as bougie, and she's dating Ray, who's in jail for possession of narcotics with intent to sell. I take that as, so you're dating a dope boy, right? Allegedly, right? Well, not allegedly, he's in jail, right? I fell out laughing. Brittany goes into a store and she's like, the store looks pretty conservative. The sales girl looks like she just got off from church. And she was like, so I'm looking for something, really nice, kind of, sexy, but still like classy. But sometimes I don't got to wear no underwear. And the sales girl was trying to keep a straight face. And she was like, oh yeah, of course, no underwear. Who wears underwear? Right? The sales girl was so funny, right? And Brittany's like, my parents raised me and this and that, but I like edgy men. To which I was like, there's no one outside of jail that's edgy. And then I was like, how old is Brittany? And then Brittany, she said that she was 33. And I was like, does Brittany have like a belly fetish? For those of you guys don't know, Hype Williams, if you guys haven't seen Belly, watch it. But I'm like, did Brittany watch too much Belly? And that's why she has this dope boy narrative? Because why can't you get... There's plenty of dirtbags that never got arrested. I mean, honestly, Brittany, if that's what you're going for, right? They've been dating for 9 months. They met through a mutual friend. First of all, whoever that friend is, you're going to hell. You're not going to see heaven. Whoever the friend is, you're not going to see heaven, right? So they met through a mutual friend. She said he started texting her. And she was like, yo, what's up? And he was like, what have you been up to? And he was like, I've just been like, locked up or locked down. And she was like, what you mean locked down? And then she said they first FaceTimed. And she noticed the white wall behind him. And she was like, are you in jail? And I was like, what's so interesting about that, Brittany? And her friend Sumitra, Sumitra confirmed it, right? When she said that, I was like, Brittany, this isn't the first man in jail you dated, because how would you know that white wall was in jail? I would have been like, what do you do? Go to community college? What is that? Where do you work at? The fact that she's like, you're in jail? So I was like, this isn't the first jail boy. She likes jail birds. It makes her, I don't know. But also, when it comes to the video chat, this is not the first time I've seen it. And I know you guys have seen the TikTok, the jail people on TikTok with the cooking and stuff, which God bless them. Like, of course, like just because you go to jail, nobody said you have to give your soul, right? But how are people getting these phones in jail? How are these people getting phones in jail? I'm confused. When I was in college or high school, we couldn't even get cell phones into the classroom. So how are you in jail and you got cell phones FaceTiming your girl? Anyway, she met through a mutual friend. That friend is not going to heaven. You're going to have to pay for an atone for this one. So then her friends come over and they're in the store helping her shop. And the cell girl is still like, yeah, that's what we're doing. Hey girls, hey girlfriend, we're doing no panties. So anyway, the sales girl is just looking so out of her league and she looks so relieved, like, you can take over, right? The girls start shopping, this and that. So then her friend makes a comment where she's like, well, at least he ain't like fat, black, and bald. And I died laughing until Brittany told a very serious story about how her ex, fat, black, and bald, it's not funny, had abused her. She had to call the police. That was like very, very sad. But then Brittany was like, I don't understand how my mom says she's traumatized and it's been 5 years and it happened to me and I'm not much traumatized anymore. Like, move on. So then Sumitra, I'm gonna hurt y'all. If y'all are watching this, I'm gonna hurt Sumitra for showing up in the first scene in that wig. I know it was curly and this and that, but Sumitra, take a pick it out, put some mousse. Like, come on, Sumitra, like, make it look a little bit more lifelike, right? Sumitra was in like her auntie's wig, right? And she's like, yeah, but you have to understand, it didn't just happen to you. It traumatized us. It traumatized your parents. It traumatized whatever. But anyway, you know what I was traumatized from? The sales girl's face and Sumitra's wig. If you don't take a pick and comb that out or separate the curls, or just, matter of fact, just take it back and do something else. Anyway, let's move on. They're from Dallas. Is that what y'all doing in Dallas, Texas, or Houston? Let me know. Let's move. Next, we go to Rachel and Doug. Y'all, this is going to be the best season of 90 Day. What is it? Not 90 Day, of Love After Lockup ever. I actually never really watched the show, and I am in love with the show. What is this craziness? So it's Rachel and Doug, right? Rachel was a Marine for 4 years. Oh, Doug is in jail for doing criminal possession of firearms. Basically, he did a drive-by. He's been in jail for almost 11 years. The first time he got arrested was at 17 for a home invasion. Whew. I know, but it gets crazier, right? Then she met him online. What is it with these women that saying, I just like a bad boy? Girl, where I'm from, a bad boy is just a dirtbag that can't keep it in his pants. Y'all are talking about achievement. So anyway, Rachel was like, listen, before she goes and sits down, she walks by and she peeks her head into her son's room like, hey, Doug. And I'm like, that's weird. Her son's name, the same as the boyfriend, more on that later. And he was like, can you just leave me alone? And I was like, wow, he's a little bit young to be like having that teenage rebellion, but I guess whatever. She's like, listen, it's not like I want an accountant. I need somebody to grab me and do this and do that. And I was like, I'm sure there's an accountant somewhere, or if not an accountant, a gas station attendant, perhaps a lawyer, maybe another Marine. I don't know. Anybody that hasn't been in jail for 11 years for doing drive-bys and home invasions. Oh my God. So anyway, then her friends stopped by. I think it's Don and Colby. Don and Colby, maybe they're married or maybe they're just friends. Anyway, she's showing them all the stuff that she prepared. She got like a 9-pound thing of bologna. And I was like, is this some prison fetish? Did he just love the taste of bologna? Because I heard they give you bologna and cheese sandwiches in prison. They're in Michigan, I think. Do they give him bologna and cheese sandwiches in Michigan, or is it a childhood thing? And even though he got the 9-pound thing of bologna, wouldn't you want the bologna slice? Listen, it's just odd, right? She said that they met a year and a half ago, and when she just looks at him, they're showing pictures of his, his mugshot. She's like, when she just looks at him, she sees this mysterious person. I saw a goddamn psycho staring at me, but she saw mysteriousness in there, right? She did say that she's been with 3 convicts, and 3 convicts, 3rd time is the charm, right? Now, here's the kicker. It gets even worse. The producers hit pay dirt. Yo, she's been married. She's already been married to him. She got married with them 10 months into the relationship. She got married. She's talking about when he comes home, he wants the 4 B's. Boobies, bologna. No, boobies, non-alcoholic beer, bologna and blowjobs, but not in that order, right? She said it's been a struggle too because she's ready to, because they don't allow conjugal visits in the state of Michigan. Thank God, because she'd probably be 4 months pregnant by now. This girl. And I remember thinking, oh my God, is she fit to mother? Because she's like a little bit kooky for Cocoa Puffs, right? But then we find out that Doug, the boy, is actually Doug's son. Yes, a month after they got married, the son came to live with them. And I was like, that poor boy, no wonder he was just like, can you leave me alone? He was like, oh, my dad's crazy girlfriend, just get out of here. But then also, where's the mother? You let your son go live with a woman and his jailbird dad, and the dad's not even out yet. They just couldn't wait to, that poor kid. We'll hear more about the backstory later, but for right now, I was like, oh my God. So then Doug calls, and I expect him to be like, hey baby, what's up? And he was like, hey, you know what's going on, this and that. And she's like, yeah, I think Doug Jr. is blah, blah, blah. He literally was like, yeah, because as long as you keep babying him and whatnot, he's always going to have that victim mentality. And that's why he acts like that. And I was just like, sir, you're acting like this about your son? Yo, how's he going to, first of all, how are you going to treat, if you're treating your son like this, how are you going to treat your additional children that we might have? I already see the way you treat your flesh and blood. That means any additional children are going to be treated. He literally was encouraging her to be mean to his own son. And then he was like, I got to come and bark orders at you. Is that what it is? And she's just like, he always says this. He's a little trickster, right? Dawn, her friend, is in the kitchen cracking the hell up. Then Colby is sitting there leaning over the counter, and she looks like she is scared, like she wants to call the police. She's really worried. And then Don's like, oh yeah, I'm worried too. Let us know what happens, right? Then she said that he called his own son a victim, a little boy. Oh God. And then she's like, listen, Doug's a little controlling, but it's just really cute. And she was like, listen, I've been with a lot of convicts, but I can tell this one's going to last. Ooh. Let's move on. Y'all, if you are listening to this review and you have not seen the show, get into the show so we can have reviews. I might even do a live about this. It's that good. Woo. Let's go to the next. Next, we get the Courtney and Josh show. Courtney, 30 years old. She's on her third marriage. She doesn't date a lot because she has horrible taste in men, right? Josh is been in jail since he was 18, I think, for burglary. Oh my God, I forgot how to speak English. Anyway, he's in jail for burglary. Why can't I say that? Anyway, burglary. Anyway, she said that she met Josh while she was a guard in jail, and she was going through his cell, and she found a bunch of writing saying he felt abandoned and alone, and that just touched her soul. So anyway, she said that they got married 6 months after meeting. However, and the way he asked her to marry him, he tattooed a picture of her on her arm, a portrait, and then said, will you marry me? And I remember looking and thinking, yeah, he's probably going to cover that up with a dragon tattoo or something like that. Anyway, and she said, you bet your bottom dollar. They got married in a double proxy wedding. I've never heard of this, but it's what they didn't even go to the wedding. It's when two people are your proxies, right? For the bride and groom, and then I guess they have the witnesses, and they get married. You learn something every day. No, right? She talks to him. And I think I was so traumatized by Rachel and Doug and how harsh and mean Doug was talking to Rachel, that when I heard Josh talk to Courtney, I was like, aw, maybe they will work. And then I had to snap out of it and been like, no, it's only because Doug sounded like a complete raging lunatic that Josh actually seems like he's loving, right? she's like, all right, babe, I gotta go talk to your lawyer about parole. And he was like, all right, babe, I'll talk to you later. And I was just like, oh my God, right? So anyway, they go to see the attorney, Brian. Brian's sitting there on camera like this, trying not to laugh. Brian has like this look like, the whole time, I don't know why his expression, like, be serious, don't laugh, this is a very serious thing. He was like, so do you? Okay, so anyway, Brian, it was like, do you think there's a chance that we won't see each other? And he was like, yeah, actually, there is a chance. And she was like, why? And that's when she slips out. And I quote, she's on probation. She's on probation. She's on probation because apparently it's illegal for, she used to be a correction lieutenant, to mess with prisoners. And she said, I mean, I thought it was a rule, but I didn't know it was like a law. I'm sure in your orientation for training you to be a correction prisoner, they went over several times that you are not to date, marry, or even look at a prisoner. And at first I thought, what was the big deal? But then I thought, you know what? If this was a woman's prison and a guy had done this, I would have been calling for him to be under the jail. So you know what? Yeah, let's move on, right? She said for the first 6 months, no, she said for after they got married, for the first 8 weeks, every time she went to see him, she would have a different wig on. And then they show captions of wigs where she's wearing like a janky red wig. Then she's wearing like this black curly wig. It just literally looked like exactly how you think it looks like. But she said after 8 weeks, she got caught. I think what happened was all her, assuming this is the same jail she worked at, I think all her coworkers knew it was her, but they just wanted to see what type of wigs and shit she was going to show up with all visiting day. And then after 8 weeks, they got bored. They're like, oh, she's recycling. She's wearing the green Jessica Rabbit wig again. Just arrest her. So she ended up doing 60 days in jail, and she's on 2 years probation, right? Her lawyer, Brian, with his smirk, was like, well, she needs to be super serious about it. It's going to be overseen by the sheriff, and she needs to be serious about it. So then the girl was like, no, because we could face up to, and when she talks, her eyes seem dead. I don't know what it is, but there's something dead in her eyes. I don't know what it is, but she was like, no, me and my husband are going to be together for 3 years. So, I'm going to be separated. Sorry, guys. I'm going to be separated for up to 3 years, and I don't care what happens. No one's stopping me from seeing my husband. I'm sorry, let me make my eyes more dead. There's a chance we might be separated for 3 years, but I don't care because nobody's stopping me from seeing my husband. Y'all, let's move on because they saved the best for last. We are at Stanley and Lisa. Right? So Stanley is like, I don't know, he's over 60, maybe he's 70. How old is Stanley? I have to double check. I'll let y'all know once I check. And the only reason I ask is because like he's wearing a toupee, but he has gray on the sides, but he has a black toupee. But that said, he looks old as dirt, but to be that old, he looks like he's in good shape, right? I stopped short of saying he's attractive because let's move on. He's dated 125 girls. He's worth $2.3 million and he is a widow, which is very sad, but I guess it's good because while he was talking before he said he was widow, I was like, I bet you his ex-wife is somewhere laughing her ass off. But apparently she's in heaven, probably laughing her ass off, right? Anyway, he met her online and his friend Dash is like, oh, did you swipe left or right? And that's when I was like, how old is this guy? 80, 90 years old? He's like, I did both. Haha, I'm a switch hitter. And I was like, wow, Pop doesn't even know the meaning of switch hitter, right? And Dash was looking like, I don't think that means what you think it does. But they just laughed and let that go. Pop, I'm a switch hitter. So anyway, he met her on Seeking Arrangement, which I Googled it. It's a sugar daddy website where you basically go there. If anybody's watching this and you guys need extra money and you're sick of your boss, men or women, you go there and you're just like, listen, I will be your boyfriend or girlfriend for this much. It literally is like an American version of mail order brides, but it's mail order boyfriends and girlfriends instead, if that makes any sense, right? They met on Seeking Arrangement. And he said, you know, when I saw her, she had a lovely face and smile. He basically said she looked like the perfect trophy, right? And I was like, you know what? maybe the problem isn't that if you don't think you're hot. Maybe you're just dating. Like, the more you go up in age, the hotter you get. Because she's a 40-year-old. She got arrested for selling narcotics. She's a 40-year-old, but I was like, I didn't look like a well-maintained 40. But to other 40-year-olds, maybe it's a thumbs down. But now when you're dealing with 80-year-olds, it's like, ooh, look at this hot young thing. You're young to someone. He said he doesn't like dating women his age because they're always complaining about stuff. Then he turns around and he's like, but you know, age is nothing but a number. Okay, your age is nothing but a number, but these girls, they better be in their 40s, right? But she's young to someone. He said the very first night they met, they had sex and kissed. I love the way I thought he was going to say something romantic like, we held hands and looked at the sky. Instead, he's like, we had sex and kissed. And I was just like, oh my God, pop, stop, right? But then he said she disappeared, and he got, like months later, he got a message saying, you know, call Lisa, it's an emergency. And it was to the jail. And I was like, yo, you know Lisa, because I think they let you use computers in jail if you don't have a cell phone. So that means that Lisa probably got like Google text that you can go through, Gmail text, and texted him and told him to call, and that's how she broke it. I was like, very smart, Lisa. Anyway, he's showing his friends pictures of her, and that's when I realized that old head, I guess white guys that are American, they don't, because they're like, oh my gosh, she's cute, and Dash is like, she looks healthy, and I was like, healthy, and then they showed a picture of her, and I was like, oh, that's old white guys in America slang for thick. So everybody, right? Get the memo. Everybody likes thick girls, but they call them healthy. And I was like, oh, you put me down to some like slang, right? Where they're eating their like old man licorice and drinking their soda pop at the fountain. They're like, gosh darn it, that little filly is healthy, right? Anyway, the friends are looking at him, she calls, and the friends are looking at him like, what the hell? This is the way everybody's friends are looking at them. I don't think one, which is good, right? At least you have good friends that aren't as kooky as you. I don't think one couple has a friend that's like really rooting for them, right? Then she's talking about, you know, I don't look the way I used to look. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? You're probably gorgeous. Don't say you look like a boy. And she's like, oh, and the thing is, I think she probably still looks good. I think she's just naturally downplaying her looks because she wants to set the bar low so she can really like surprise him. I hope so, because he made it clear in those looks like, what you talking about your looks left? That as soon as she is not healthy and sexy anymore, he's out. She better have been eating her cornbread, her greens, her biscuits, and drinking her collagen smoothies every morning, because Stanley's not playing with her. He is not dating. He's dating a 40-year-old trophy for a reason. Then Dash is like, yo, are you sure like she's not being a sugar baby? And he was like, I don't care what they say. She loves me for me. But the thing is, Stanley, you don't love her for her. You just want a hot 40-year-old. But I don't know. Listen, let's move on. I cannot wait to actually see how Lisa looks. Because if Lisa does not look like Lisa from the pictures, it's going to be a goddamn problem. And I can't wait to see it. Let's move back to Rachel's house. And Rachel is with her two friends again, Don and, what's her name? I just want to get their names because they're Don and Colby, and they're measuring the bed about whether, and they're just like making like weird sex jokes. We'll just fast forward. I didn't think none of them were funny, and I was just like, I'd rather you not, right? Then they go, and she sits down and she's talking to Baby Doug. Baby Doug is playing the controller, and she was like, hey, you know, do you have a moment? And he was like, yeah, what's up? He seems like a sweet little boy. Apparently his story is really sad. His mother heavily suffers from drug addiction, and his father is a control freak that is in jail. And she was like, when he came to live with her, she really like stepped into like the mother role. She really cares about him. She hopes to adopt him one day. And she was like, so Dougie, you know, can you put the controller down? And he's still playing games, which is what kids do. But she handled it nicely. She's like, Dougie, put the controller down. And he did. And I was like, what is the father talking about? He needs more discipline. This kid seems to be well behaved and he listens. And he's so emotionally intelligent, right? I know this is like, anyway, but she was like, what are you going to do when you see your dad? And he's like, I'm going to punch him in the stomach for being a douche and not taking care of his kid. And my heart sunk. And then he's like, and then I'm going to give him a hug because I really hope that we can be a family. And she was like, well, your dad's going to be really strict. And he's like, yeah, he literally said, and I wrote this, he said, I know he's going to have a lot of rules to make me suffer. Y'all, my heart just dropped when I was like, oh my God, this isn't funny anymore. The producers are not seeing heaven, and I mean it. It's not funny anymore. And he was like, oh, and it's sad, but he was like, but if that's what I need to do to further my relationship with my father and spend time with my father and for us to be together as a family, I'll do it. And I was like, oh my God. So then she's like, I really want to, adopt them, and I want to have kids. She wants to have kids with that psycho Doug, right? Oh, and then he was like, she was like, how do you think your dad's going to do? Do you think he's going to do okay outside? And he was like, yeah, because he has you. Y'all. Let's move on. We go back to Dante. There's no Nicole yet. Dante's going to go visit his mom, right? And already, it was just triggering because Dante was like, listen, my mom, it doesn't matter whether they're in jail or not. She already thinks everybody's going to use me, right? So I'm like, what's this dynamic he's talking about, right? She talks to Dante like he's a child, but there is something very childlike about Dante. Again, it was all giggly in the beginning, but now this is starting to take a dark turn. I'm still going to watch, but it's a dark turn. Like, I feel bad for laughing. Let's be serious. No laughing. And when she's explaining like what's going on, he literally, his voice starts shaking. It's like she strikes for fear. He used to be a Marine, just like his dad. Yo, Dante, I think it'd be very easy for someone to take advantage of Dante, and I don't think it's funny. Dante maybe needs somebody to share power of attorney. That's all I'm saying, right? And then, the mom's like, can I meet her? And she's like, yeah, but you gotta act right. We need some ground rules. And she's like, act right for what? And I was like, oh, already this mom, you can tell is a handful. But the fact that Dante mentally doesn't seem to be able to handle a handful makes it even weirder, right? And then she's like, this is like, he starts talking up the girl, and she was like, this is like the last girl that took you for everything that you had, right? Y'all, before this, he was dating Chelsea, who was in prison before this. What's her name? Let's honor her name. Before Nicole, he was dating Chelsea. There's something so childlike about Dante. He's like, I'll be honest with you, all I saw was blonde hair and big boobs, And I'm just like, oh my God, somebody get him, right? She was sending him her money and everything, to the point of he literally had to move back in with his mom because he was sending his whole paycheck to her and wasn't even paying his bills. He lost his house, he lost his car, he lost everything. So then he was like, I know what you're saying. You're like, it's two white girls. They're both in prison. They both call him Barbie, but it's not the same thing. And then his little brother, who's eating his rice, right? He's eating his food. He was like, well, actually, it sounds exactly like the same thing. Thank you. That makes two of us. And Dante's like, it's not the same thing. And the mom is just looking like, oh my God, right? And then he was like, I've learned from what happened with Chelsea. So then the mom made a good point when she's like, if you learned, then how did you get back on that prison site? And he's like, it just happened, Mom. This literally, he is so childlike. And she's like, how did it happen when you had to pick a computer and do it, right? And he was like, I wasn't expecting this, but love, I thought they were going to cue, when he said, I'm not expecting this, I thought they were going to cue Babyface, love makes things happen. But again, I'm laughing, but it was actually really, really sad because I was like, what's the odds this girl, Nicole, by the way she was talking to him, isn't just using him for his money? And I was like, is this what Love After Lockup is? The producer just finds train wrecks and just follows the train wreck to see when it's going to crash and explode. Oh my God. Can we please lighten the mood? God, I liked it when I was laughing with them or at them, not like literally being like, oh my God, somebody call child social services to check on Dante because Nicole is literally committing child abuse. Oh my God. Anyway, guys, all right. the producers redeemed themselves. I guess in the editing, they're like, this is getting too dark. Let's lighten it up. Yo, we go to Courtney and Josh. Courtney is going to go pick Josh up. And she's like, listen, I really love this guy a lot. You know, I got something special for us. And I'm like, oh, what'd you get? Like, you know, something sexy? No, she got a pickle costume because their inside joke is pickles. So she's going to wear a pickle costume for the first time she picks him up. Y'all, she literally gets dressed up as a giant pickle from Rick and Morty. But she's struggling. She's like, you hear the microphone, or she's like, oh, the pickle costume. Oh no, here it comes. Let me get dressed up like a pickle. It is one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in reality TV. And it really did lighten the mood after I almost cried over Dante and little Doug, right? It really, really lightened the mood. And she was like, when she was like, no, I don't think he's, with her dead eyes, no, I don't think he's using me. There was a time where my water heater broke and I couldn't afford to get a water heater. I couldn't afford to get a water heater because I sent him all my money. But no, I don't leave. So they show her crouched down in a Rick and Morty pickle costume. Like, I'm so nervous. What's he gonna think? I can't believe it. I'm like, girl. Let's move on. Her crouched down behind this little barrier hiding while he's being pulled up, and she's in a pickle costume, and you just see her like looking like she's in war zone, like all heavy breathing, and her eyes in the camera like this, like it's a war zone. And you see Josh get out the car, and all you see here is his voice saying, where is she at? And then the credits roll and cut. Y'all, let me get a minute to collect myself. Give me a minute. I've composed myself. And they go into what's happening. Apparently there's one other couple, Jeff and somebody else. We'll meet them later. Y'all, this is going to be, I think, okay, granted, this is the first season of Love After Lockup I've ever watched. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just Johinda and Allie Bruce for suggesting Love After Lockup. Y'all hit the nail on the head. This is going to be such a great season. Oh my God. Oh, Precious Wheeler too. Thank you for suggesting that. I think I might even look up 90 Day Fiance because you guys did not miss the target. Y'all, listen. You gotta watch the show. You have to tell your friends. I think maybe even Monday I'll do a live so we can talk about this mess, because this is what I remember reality TV being before Bravo took it over, made it all fake and scripted. What have I been doing messing around with the Real Housewives when Love After Lockup exists? Ooh, I will see y'all next week. Until then. The pickle. I'll see y'all next week. Oh, also, like, comment, subscribe if you made it this long. Y'all know what to do. It pushes me up in the algorithm. Y'all go, be blessed. Ooh, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.